Welcome back everyone, my name is Eltimar and we're going to be continuing our Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. This is our good playthrough, and we are going to be talking to Horgus. We're in his manor right now. Ah, there you are, at last. You certainly took your time. I thought perhaps you got lost on the way here. I was already regretting not drawing you a map. Horgus's relief is palpable even through his grousing. It's a tragedy to see one's house in such a sorry state, and I always had a few guards in my service, you know. I hope those blockheads died honorably and didn't simply flee at the first sign of danger. Horgus turns towards the corridor with a pensive expression on his face. My manor, you see, contains several items that are of great value to me. I wish you to retrieve them before they're discovered by my fellow citizens, who are in the current chaos seem to have taken to thieving and marauding like ducks to water. So here's what I want you to do. Take a stroll through my house, peek into the rooms, and if you find anyone, kill them on the spot. That'll teach any other opportunists to stay away from Horgus manor. While I was standing here by the entrance, I could clearly hear the sound of someone rooting around inside. Any possessions of mine you find in there you can keep. It's all as good as lost to me anyways. When you're sure the house is empty, give me a signal from my study window. Wave a torch around or something like that. You can decide when you get there. This should be good. I'm always up for poking around a fancy manor. What are these valuable items that they're worth risking your life by going back to the manor? Never you mind, I'm paying you to clear the ruffians inside, not to ask questions. Horgus glares at you for a few seconds before dropping his gaze. In any case, you will learn what this is about just as soon as you clear the way to my study for me, so restrain your curiosity for now. You're sad about your things because of them. You want us to kill people. Don't lecture me about right and wrong. If it gives you some comfort, let me assure you that the marauders are not innocent little lambs. Far from it. They would gladly kill you to get their hands on my possessions, mark my words. You're not coming in? The very notion. You think I hire guards to do my bidding just so I can put myself in danger along with them? No, no, no. I've taken on my fair share of risk already today. But all the same, you took the risk of coming here even though you were well aware of the danger. What is it that draws you here so strongly, like a moth to a flame? Camellia, that's enough. Oh, it seems like it hit a sore spot. The girl quickly covers the smile that flickers across her face. Alright, I understand. We'll get on with it. Or are you waiting for a special order? I shall await your signal. Horgus pauses. And good luck in there, I suppose. Yes, we'll go through your little manor. I will say, I think that the good playthrough of this game that we're doing is going to be like a solid couple hours longer than the evil playthrough, just by the way things are going so far. And it's because the evil playthrough closes off a lot of quests because, you know, we murder some of the quest givers or just don't accept their quests. I mean, maybe there's going to be some evil quests later on that we won't be able to do as good people, but it's going to be, I have a feeling, more along the lines of when we leave Canabris, the playthroughs will diverge even more. They've diverged a little bit now, but they're more or less similar at the moment, just based on how time goes and how many rests each person has, because there's a certain time limit to reaching certain events in the city. Luckily, this game seems to have less time limits than Kingmaker did, which was ruled by time limits, and it was kind of annoying in that regard.
Surrender! We will be victorious! Did you say
okay, let's kill the Conjurer. Sela, go tank the Champion. Nope, you guys keep going.
I'm done with
it's yourself. Oh, shoot.
Distract them from me.
He's there still.
I'll cut you wide open!
He has haste on, that's very annoying.
Too late for apologies.
There we go. Come on, kill it before it summons things. Concealment is very... I was gonna say concealment's very annoying, but then he took an arrow to the side of the face and just like tumbled away. A really good hit. We're gonna loot everything in the library. There will be a lore video that I'm gonna just probably do at the end of the playthrough, honestly. I'll just keep all of the books until then. We'll sell all the duplicates or get rid of the duplicates, and then we'll just read them all en masse in like one giant lore video. For both playthroughs at the same time, because I'm not going to read them all twice, because that would be very painful, and I would not enjoy that, I don't think. Anywho, let's bust through this door, and I really thought in the beta that there was enemies in this room, but I guess not. They must have replaced them with something. The door to the garden is blocked. Opening it is currently impossible. A heavy blunt object was clearly used to break down the door. The lock is broken and the door cannot be opened. There's a stairwell that leads downstairs. Do I know where it goes? Not even a little bit. Tank this one. Well, the rest of the group just takes care of that other one. As we take a 10 damage hit to the face and almost die. Easy enough kill. Grab the scimitar and the composite longbow. We're going to save and pick the lock. I know people keep saying that it's
I am helpful.
not
Am I
important
not?
to save before picking locks, and there's no need to save scum, but I just have this like innate fear of like getting locked out from content because we failed saving throw. Solasta did that to us.
Yes.
There was that one chest that we failed to open, and then we couldn't open it until way later in the game. It was very irritating. Does this open? It does, and inside is an abracandaloo. Come on, die. This group is very melee heavy, I just realized. We will be replacing some of the group members maybe later on. I don't know who we're going to replace, though. We do kind of need a cleric, though. Like an actual cleric, or like an oracle would be fine. Someone who can channel positive energy. We don't have anyone that does that. I actually don't really think we need Woljif as a character. I think he might be the one I replace later on. There's definitely going to be some things in here. We're going to do a bit of buffing. I remember this fight being a little bit tougher. Let's use Mutagen Strength, which means we can't cast our spells. I didn't think about that ahead of time, but let's just do Mage Armor. And we'll give her Blur. She's going to go tank. That should be more than enough, I think, to deal with all the problems here. She's got 27 armor class. That's pretty good.
Make my own legend. Do not fear. Do not falter.
Yes. Okay. Kill the Abercantry first. Someone kill it. There we go.
Surrender.
The Scary cultists are there. Let's get those two shooting at the wizard. Although it's not casting any spells, which is the weirder thing, I think. Where are you guys all going? You were in range of the ranger. You were literally feet away. Why are you guys sucking so badly at hitting things? Come on, Lan. You're a monk shooting guy. What are they called? A monkey shooting guy. You know what I'm talking about, though.
Trouble yet?
Zen Archer. That's the one. I think we'll keep Lan in our group long term in this particular group. I've never used a Zen Archer, like, for more than a couple levels, so I'm kind of curious to see how they progress. I've heard they're quite good, though. This is a toughish fight. There's a ambush in here.
I won't let you hurt my friends.
Strike with all your might.
The spirits demand your blood.
You're done for. Can you please?
There we go. Well, we got taken out, and she died because why wouldn't they just ignore her? I mean, to be fair, finishing off downed people is an honestly good choice.
Adventures
What armor
await.
does she have? Shouldn't have taken that much damage right away.
Meditate on your
Kind
mistakes.
of grim.
My tale is
What else do we have here?
Trust in yourself.
Just Blur, too. Maybe they have blind fight, because it's possible. I think maybe we just got bad luck. Let's just go do that.
They will break against our
You guys
resolve.
kill that one.
Cover me, all
Wide
right?
open.
Come on, kill that guy. We can kill one of the babaos, it won't be too bad. There we go. That one hit hard.
Can it be the end?
Well, we're down again. I know that they have sneak attack, thank you. We have sneak attack too.
Tactical retreat.
That was not as good as I'd hoped, but we survived it. Good enough.
Can't hide from me.
Let's go loot some treasure stuff.
I am helpful. Am I not?
A new bow, short bow of code, and a counterfeit Derek Sunhammer's jewelry. I'm sure that'll come into play later on.
Where I can.
This arcane
What's on
spell
your
failure,
mind?
so let's see if this can work.
This war must end.
Doubt is the heart's greatest challenge.
A little bit of healing. We are going to be going back to the main square, and then we're probably going to try and do the big fight as well. I think we should have time. Let's go into this room though and clear it out first.
Yet another obstacle.
Surrender or else.
The Slayer actually does a lot of damage. It would be very good to kill it fast. There we go.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Something.
Oh, beans. And there's another Cambion that I didn't even notice. Most importantly, though, the Slayer can hit like a freight train. It's very difficult to kill. And we'll grab those Master Kukris. There's also a painting here with some stuff. Another loot over here, which has some more stuff.
Let's move.
And now it's time to summon Mr. Horgus Worm himself. I also think our good group is going to outlevel our evil group, to be honest. Let's go pull him into here. Danger is past, now you can signal Horgus from the window of his study. The mention is clear. You're alive, fine work. My secret door remains unopened. Fantastic, I wasn't too late. If you'll follow me. Family secrets about to be revealed. It's so thrilling.
What's that?
That would be the secret door that we just entered. A happy family, Horgus, an unknown half-elf, and their dark-haired young daughter. The painting is captioned, Horgus, Worm, Iris, and Camellia. The painting depicts a thin, blonde boy with sickly pale skin. The caption reads, Horgus, Worm, 9 years of age. The painting's right where I left them. Very good. Horgus, Worm, thanks you for your help. There's something off about the paintings in front of you. The blonde-haired boy in the Gorm family colors does not look like Horgus in the least. The family portrait depicts Horgus alongside an unknown half-elf woman and a little girl who bears a striking resemblance to Camellia. The perception check was, of course, a 9, which means that our skill value is actually higher than the roll required. Who is that in the paintings, Horgus? So you noticed. It seems there's no point in hiding it anymore. Horgus is silent for a few moments, then sighs and presses his lips into a hard line. You see, I have 2 secrets. Camellia is, in fact, my daughter, and I am not the real Horgus Worm. You're not Horgus Worm? My real name is Darian Witt. My parents were the servants of the real Gorms at their mansion on the eastern edge of Mendev. The Gorms were generous and noble, but short-sighted. They burned through most of their fortune on charity, when said they should have taken better care of guarding the mansion. When I was 10 or so, I used to play in the garden with the real Horgus Worm, who is just my age. I have no idea where the demons came from. Horgus ran to the mansion. I bolted in the opposite direction. He was captured and killed, and I wasn't. Horgus shrugs apologetically. Crusaders came from the nearest city to aid us, but I was the only one who survived. They asked me my name and I said I was Horgus Worm, and that's the whole story. Such a heart-wrenching tale, but never fails to bring a tear to my eyes. You are in no position to judge me, Camellia. Horgus's hands curl into fists, but his voice sounds more tired than angry. You're right, I'm not. You were just a scared child. I have nothing but sympathy for you, besides your lies didn't hurt anyone. Horgus seemed surprised, as if he had been expecting a much stronger reaction. Never mind. I'd only like to assure you that your claim about not hurting anyone is absolutely correct. The vast fortune of the Gorms had no rightful heirs. If there had been any heirs, I most definitely would have transferred ownership to them. You committed a crime, and since then you've tried to atone, but let me guess, no matter how much good you do, the guilt stays with you? It's true. How do you know this? I also made a mistake as a child. Mine was much more serious than yours, in deed and in consequences. Many years passed before I learned to be at peace with it, so I'm in no position to judge you. It is difficult for me to speak openly about secrets which I have kept all these years. I have been hostage to them my entire life, strange as that sounds. Camellia is your daughter? Yes, illegitimate, that is to say. Horgus's cheeks reddened. She has resided in this house since birth. The staff thought that she was a niece or the daughter of a friend who died in the Crusades, and I never disabused them of their notions. Her mother Iris was a half-elf of humble origins. She worked in the gardens here. I wanted to unite the Gorm family with another noble line. The Gorm name cannot be permitted to mix with commoners and thereby plunge into insignificance. Iris did not protest, and we successfully hid our connection. And when Camellia was born, I did not claim her as my own. As far as Mendev knows, Camellia is the daughter of a Gorm family servant who died over 10 years ago. And before you start telling me what a terrible father I am, I want to tell you something. My daughter wanted for nothing. All her whims were fulfilled as quickly as they arose. I hired the best teachers and bought her the best books. She always ate well and had warm clothes. Isn't that what a parent does? You've discovered my most terrible secret. Father cares so much about the Gorm name that he raised me in our mansion, hiding me away from the whole world. I'll always be grateful to my father for everything he's done for me, even if Mendev society disapproves of some of his decisions. Would it be insolent of me to beg your discretion regarding what you know about us? I'll keep your secret, Camellia. The hint of a smile plays on Camelia's mouth. Please accept my humblest thanks. Horgus casts a wary look at the girl, but remains silent. What is it like to live your whole life under someone else's name? When I was a boy, I used to hate Horgus, the condescension most of all. The pity on his face, his smile when he called me to join in his games. The difference in our birthright wasn't fair. Envy clouded my mind. When the demons killed him, and not me, I thought it was a gift of fate. I seized my good fortune with both hands and never let go. When I told them my name was Horgus Worm, the only heir to the vast fortune of the Worm family, on that day life was fair. Unfortunately, it took me many years to see the generosity behind the condescension, not condensation, very different things, and feel the compassion behind the pity. I discovered far too late that Horgus was my friend, even when I didn't feel myself his. I never accepted the hand of friendship he offered until it was far too late. But what can I do now? Reveal the truth, reject the name, and allow it to sink into oblivion? Would my friend Horgus want this? Horgus shakes his head, tired. I bear the name of Horgus Gwyrm with pride and dignity it deserves. As a banner on a battlefield, I will multiply its merits. The Gwyrm family will not be forgotten. I still serve Horgus Gwyrm. Horgus attempts to smile, but the result is pathetic. What are you planning to do now? Well, first and foremost, I shall reward you handsomely for your help, and then I shall burn these portraits. I have kept them all this time out of misplaced sentiment, but they serve no purpose now. My ravaged home will likely be picked clean to the bone, and this secret room will inevitably be discovered. I don't want those paintings to be seen by anybody else. I see. Well, you certainly earned your payment. Here, it was a pleasure doing business with you. Horgus is silent for a while. Camellia, I can tell from your face that you enjoyed fighting the demons in this worthy party. I ask only one thing. Are you certain? Camellia doesn't answer, but looks at Horgus with a half-smile lingering on her lips. Well then, clearly I can no longer keep you safe. Our house is destroyed, our servants scattered or dead. Horgus stares into his daughter's face as though he's seeking the answer to an unasked question, then turns his attention to us. But now follow me. We'll make sure that no one ever again discovers the secrets of Horgus Gwyrm. Well, that's a very interesting thing that has happened. He's got to go burn some portraits. And this is A-okay. And we're going to go loot some things because why not?
I hope you appreciate
A
this.
breastplate +1, and not a particularly good item, but not the worst in the world. Wait a minute, did the... Oh, I see, the tunnel just doesn't appear from this side? It must have just been the camera angle we were at. It didn't look like it appeared. Well, that's that then. Thank you for your help and farewell. And watch over Camellia. And that is the end of this. We need to get out of here. There are more things that need our attention. We have to go to Market Square and find the other Desnite, whatever they're called. Desnian. Sure. Why don't I just go this way? I'm going to open this door in case we have to come back here and then we don't have to wander around. Area exit. We still haven't done the main fight either. We haven't done the Defender's Heart battle yet, which will be coming up very soon. I wonder if we'll have time to do the Tower of Estrad before it kicks in. Maybe. We did Gorman's Mansion. We're not going to go to the failed ritual site. We will do that later when we go to the Tierbait Residence. We'll have time to do the Tierbait Residence and the Tower of Estrad later. We should probably do this quickly. Did I just go to Darren's house? Yes, I did. Oh, it has been a very long day, guys. My apologies. It's been just a day. There we go. We're headed in the right direction. That's really the important part. I think I vaguely have an idea of where he is. Alright. I actually think he's on this level here, over by this group. Jesus. Sorry. I'm gonna cut that out, but it was my dog barking. The eyes of a young lad peer at you from under the massive helmet. At this proximity, it is obvious that his armor is ill-fitting and mismatched, and the helmet specifically is either very poorly made or a theater prop. Pardon me, I saw you with that shawl. Does that mean that you're a friend of Aranka's? What I'm saying... Of course it does, so... Or what am I saying? Of course it does, so... He's doing something. Oh, Crusaders have appeared. The young man's speech is interrupted by the arrival of a new cast of characters. People in the robes of Iomede's Inquisitors appear from all sides, surrounding him. Adept Thal of the Temple of Desna, you are under arrest on suspicion of treason and aiding the demons. You have 1 minute to come quietly. Drag your feet, and we'll count that as an attempt to resist justice. Prelate Halrun appears behind his people. And here's the traitor who almost corrupted the Wardstone with his magic. You didn't think that the disorder and demonic presence in the city would distract us from pursuing traitors, did you? The youth's eyes go wide and he says nothing, clearly not knowing what to do. You are torturing this boy for nothing. I cannot stand for this. The Inquisitor's brow furrows. You bear the light gift of heaven and you're taking the side of a delinquent conspirator? Heaven knows not only righteous anger, but mercy as well. The Inquisitor gazes at the light, not even blinking. His face reveals a desperate inner struggle. At last he rubs his temples. I do not know why you're standing in the way of justice, but I do not wish to start a spat between the goddess's righteous warriors in this hour of peril. Let this Desnan riffraff go wherever he likes, just as long as it's out of my sight. When we liberate the city from the demons, I will see to it that every one of Ramian's runs, and everyone like him will be driven out of Canabras. Come, faithful, we have no further business here. The young man lets out a sigh of relief as he watches the Inquisitors go. This is just blatantly unfair. We tried to protect the city from demons, and instead of helping us, we get hunted by the Inquisitors. Prelate Hulrun will be the death of us all, and there's nothing we can do about it. Anyway, thank you. I would have been done for without you. The Inquisition has gone too far. I'm glad I didn't let them take you. That's it. I don't believe I'll get a fair hearing from Hulrun. If it wasn't for you, I would have been tortured and put to death. But even so, I have my regrets. I think we went too far trying to break into the Wardstone, and we didn't even save anyone. Did not, pal? Now, you screwed up royally, no doubt, but you meant well, didn't you? Hulrun was trying to do the same thing as you, but he killed a whole lot of people while doing it. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to the Temple of Desna. I want to be alone with the goddess and reflect on all that has happened. I don't think there's a quick travel system in this game, so... Right side, we can, I think just send our people there, because we don't have to do any checks. We go here, here, here. That being said, it's going to take a while to traverse the area, and then we can head off towards the Defender's Heart. I don't know if we'll do that in this video, though we might just do it on the next one. Which is where I guess our good and evil campaigns are going to diverge more drastically. They'll catch up to each other at some point. I'm sure there'll be some evil stuff that requires more talking and time than the good side of things, maybe? I guess we'll find out.
We should move.
Also, I'm pretty sure that this group is going to gain a level way faster than our evil group. Alrighty, let's go talk to them. We need to talk to Ilks. Ilks, Aranka, and Thal sit side by side like sparrows on a tree branch. They seem happy despite the chaos going on around them. If it isn't our rescuer, it's good you've come. Sit with us. I'm pleased to see you're all fine, but there's still much more work to be done in this city. That's true, Ilks nods, but can we give you a gift before we go? We wouldn't give this to anyone apart from the person who bravely defended us from injustice. The injustice inflicted by the people who should be the pillars of law and order in our city. Our gift, Aranka cuts in, is a song. We call it the Starward Gaze, and it came to us from the true servants of Desna, from our domain in Elysium. This song can gift a soul with renewed vitality. Just listen. The girl sings the melody. Do I get a gift? Cool song. Can I swap my song for something else? Say cash or even a snack of some kind? Those unschooled in the arts can't possibly appreciate that some songs are worth more than gold. And those who have spent their whole lives eating 3 square meals a day and sleeping on silk sheets don't realize that sometimes a crust of bread is worth more than gold. Paying no attention to Woljif's chatter, the girl continues to sing. I listen in silence. Ilks winks at you. Free your soul, sing with us. I want to make sure you remember the song. It will be useful to you in the future. We'll sing the song. You repeat the... That's very pretty. You repeat the melody, feeling it coming from somewhere within your heart, and then... When the music stops, Alavra finds herself in a place that looks nothing like the ruins of Canabras. It all happens in the space of a blink. She closes her eyes on one world and opens them on another one. A delicate twilight envelops this new world, with streaks of moonlight breaking through the gloom. Alara is standing in a shallow stream of murmuring water deep in a forest. There's no one else around. Garlands of unfamiliar climbing plants twine around the trunks of gigantic trees, and dangling from their branches are vines, woven into what looks remarkably like swings. A carpet of fragrant grasses spreads out at the tree's roots, with islands of phosphorescent moss and lichen dotted here and there. Small, smooth stones with a strange mirrored surface are scattered across the stream bed in which Elira is standing. Stones catch the light, shining down from the heavens, making them gleam silver and making the ordinary little brook look like a stream of darkness, carrying the sprinkling of stars through the night. Elira is sure that she has never been to this place before, and yet it all feels so familiar. It's the manifestation not only of dreams or fantasies, but of that special way of looking at the world that only children possess. When a glint of light reflected off a piece of glass becomes a falling star, when an oddly shaped stone can be a remarkable artifact, and when every shadow or twist in a path promises mystery or an incredible adventure, a single glance into the forest stream brings this feeling rushing back. Realizing this, Elira unhurriedly makes her way along the stream bed, taking in her surroundings. The whimsically twisting stream runs through the silent forest, and Elira unhurriedly strolls along it. This place evokes a strange feeling of, not calm, no, in fact quite the opposite, a feeling of restlessness and anticipation of incredible discoveries or unexpected encounters. Or then again, perhaps it's not the place at all, but the eternal hunger, the craving for new experiences, which dwells within many mortal hearts. Speculation aside, just as Elira rounds the next bend, an unexpected encounter does indeed take place. They come closer, not attempting to hide, stepping lightly on the mossy carpet, leaping from branch to branch or flitting through the air. The creatures are thoroughly bizarre, as though they were deliberately conceived to try the sanity of every taxonomist on the planet. One has the fluttering wings of a butterfly on its back, another has the tail of a dozen different animals, while a third boasts tresses of streaming water hooves instead of feet, and springing clover growing all over its skin. "We have a visitor," exclaims one of these strange creatures, and it immediately runs along the stream, sending up moonlight-silvered splashes with every step. "Who are you?" "We are Azatas, the children of freedom," says one of the creatures, carelessly swinging from the branches of the tree. "This forest is our home for today. Tomorrow our home could be a lake 100 leagues to the south, or an underground cave in the azure ocean, or a castle of clouds that scatters in the dawn breeze." "Where am I?" "Don't you know where you are?" the creature asks in astonishment or amazement. "There are plains of breathtaking beauty and plains of astonishing wonders, but only Elysium is woven from the craving for beauty, from the belief in wonders. That is where you are, in the most peaceful, most wonderful corner of the plain, in boundless freedom. We are Zadas, children of freedom," says one of the creatures. Oh, we already did that. "How did I get here?" "Don't you... Oh, what?" Weird. It went like here, and then down to here. "We don't know how you came to be here," says the creature with a dozen tails, smiling. "Mortals rarely come to Elysium during their lifetime, but here you are, which means that something must have brought you, something in your soul. If your soul did not harbor even the slightest spark of freedom, yearning, and compassion, you would never have found your way here. Now that you know the answers, tell us, what do you want?" "I have to go back. They need me there." The creature with the butterfly wings, who has hitherto remained silent, gives the visitor a serious look and nods to itself. "I smell the burning blood and tears of the place that you have come from. It clings to you. It is right that you don't wish to turn your back on the suffering of those you left behind. None of us children of Elysium would do such a thing. Go back. Be the bulwark against evil and strife. Your path is true. Would you like to take something from this place as a memento?" The question hangs in the air, and though the words that Elira utters next are merely words, not a spell nor a military command, they seem to have equal bearing on destiny and life. "Yes, I really want you. We have obtained the Azada mythic path. The Azadas draw closer. Take this memory with you. Take this light. Take the knowledge that any pebble struck by a moonbeam can be equal to any star. Take the understanding that you cannot fight evil with clever plans until you have conquered evil within your soul, and your soul cannot be cleansed of evil if it is not free. Take our song, remember it, and it may help you, only when you are true to that which brought you beneath this sky." All three adepts look at you wide-eyed. What just happened? For a second you were surrounded by light, and we heard music, like the music of Elysium itself. I had a vision. I was in Elysium, and the Azadas spoke to me. The adepts exchange looks of astonishment. I swear it's a sign that Desna herself has turned her gaze on you. You helped us and protected Wallflower from the Inquisitors, even though it wasn't your responsibility. The goddess couldn't fail to acknowledge such a noble soul. We might be getting ahead of ourselves here. There are many powerful entities in Elysium besides Desna, but of course there must be a reason for it. I am so glad we met you, friend, and not just because I'd be being tortured by Inquisitors right now if we hadn't, but also because you helped me overcome my doubts. We will always remember you, no matter what." Very cool. That was actually a really, really cool encounter. I quite enjoyed that. I think good might be the better way to play this game, in all honesty. There are games in which we gotta lean a little more lawful here, though. If we jump over to neutral good, we will lose our monk abilities. That is something we gotta be careful of. But I'm sure there'll be some lawful versus evil stuff coming up at some point in time, hopefully. We can't look at our mythic paths yet, but that is a really, really cool encounter. I'm honestly a little worried that good is going to be a vastly better playthrough in this one, just in terms of lore and story, which is primarily why I play these games to start with. So we are not going to have time to do our battle at the Defender's Heart in this video. We'll do it next time, though, I think. For now, I will leave you guys here. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Take care.